He was assassinated at his own birthday, but that's when his system finally awakened. Feng Province, Xia Kingdom. In the frozen capital of the Xia Kingdom, soldiers filled the streets, searching for an unknown enemy. The entire royal city was tense. Inside the magnificent royal palace, the young king lay unconscious on his dragon bed. His face was pale, and his breathing was barely noticeable. Beside him stood the queen, Feng Qingcheng, a woman famous for her beauty and noble presence. Though her face was hidden by a veil, her authority as queen filled the entire room. An imperial doctor checked the king's pulse and reported that the medicine had stabilized his condition. If nothing went wrong, the king would wake up in 2 days. Satisfied, the queen rewarded the doctor and ordered everyone to leave. Soon the palace hall became quiet. Late that night, something unexpected happened. The young king suddenly opened his eyes, but the person inside that body was no longer the same. In his previous life, he had been a man from another world. Now he had awakened in the body of Mo Linyuan, the 22-year-old king of the Xia Kingdom. At first glance, being a king sounded powerful, but in reality, the kingdom was falling apart. Powerful noble families controlled the court. Rebellions were spreading across the land, and neighboring kingdoms were watching like hungry wolves. Even worse, Mo Linyuan himself had weak talent and almost no allies. The previous king, his father, had placed him on the throne as part of a dangerous political gamble, forcing different factions to fight for power. For 1 year, Mo Linyuan struggled to survive in this deadly game. Then, during his birthday banquet, someone tried to assassinate him. Just before he lost consciousness, a strange voice appeared in his mind.
Congratulations, host. Because you survived an assassination attempt, the system has been activated.
Mo Linyuan couldn't believe it. To activate the system, he actually had to be assassinated first. Chapter 2. Newbie Gift Pack. After surviving the assassination, Mo Linyuan finally wakes up and discovers that a mysterious myriad, Heaven's Mall system, has activated inside his mind. This system works like a powerful marketplace where he can buy cultivation, techniques, pills, weapons, and treasures from countless worlds. However, there is a limitation. Mo Linyuan is currently only a 1-star user, so he can only access the 1-star mall. The system also gives tasks. Completing these tasks rewards him with points which help him upgrade his level and unlock higher-level items. When Mo Linyuan checks his status panel, he realizes something disappointing about himself. Cultivation, early organ refining realm. Aptitude, yellow grade intermediate. In this world, talent determines how far someone can grow in martial arts. Yellow grade talent is considered weak, meaning he would normally never become a powerful expert. Cultivation realms in the world is divided into 2 main stages: post-heaven realms, lower realms, bone forging realm, skin refining realm, blood condensation realm, organ refining realm, meridian opening realm, pre-heaven realms, higher realms, Shantian realm, Pihai realm, Rui realm, Xuandan realm, Tongsuan realm, Life Star realm, Nirvana realm. Experts in the Xuandan realm are extremely powerful. They can destroy mountains and live for around 1,000 years. Long ago, the founder of the Xia Kingdom reached this level, which allowed the kingdom to control hundreds of counties. But after his death, the kingdom gradually declined. Discovering the Novice Gift Pack. While exploring the system, Mo Linyuan finds something special in the system space: a Novice Gift Pack. When he opens it, the system rewards him with several incredible treasures: heaven-devouring immortal body, a legendary physique capable of devouring energy from heaven and earth; devouring heaven immortal art, a powerful cultivation technique created for that body; 9 Tribulation Dynasty immortal art, a technique that allows a ruler to use the power of the nation's destiny for cultivation; Shanhi Sheji Cauldron, an ancient artifact that can suppress and strengthen a country's national destiny; Primordial Pill Scripture, an ancient alchemy book containing many powerful pill formulas. The transformation begins. After accepting the rewards, Mo Linyuan is suddenly pulled into a mysterious, chaotic space. A massive power begins pouring into his body. The pain is unbearable, and he quickly loses consciousness. During this transformation, his cultivation first drops to 0, but as the heaven-devouring immortal body merges with him, his strength begins to rise again rapidly. The once weak king is now undergoing a complete transformation, and when he awakens again, Mo Linyuan will no longer be the powerless ruler everyone mocked. Chapter 3. Peak of the Sea. 2 days after activating the Myriad Heaven's Mall system, Mo Linyuan finally wakes up from unconsciousness. When he opens his eyes, the first person he sees is his mysterious queen, Feng Qingcheng. Although her face is hidden behind a veil, her elegant figure and star-like eyes reveal that she is an extraordinary beauty. Seeing that the king has awakened, she politely excuses herself and leaves the hall. Mo Linyuan is not surprised by her cold attitude. In the past year since he became king, he and Feng Qingcheng have rarely interacted. During his years as a prince, Mo Linyuan purposely acted like a useless playboy traveling, visiting pleasure houses, and spending time with women to make others ignore him. Yet strangely, whenever he faced Feng Qingcheng, he always felt intimidated, like a mouse facing a cat. Now he finally understands why. Feng Qingcheng is not an ordinary woman. She is a genius cultivator, already at the late Xiantian realm at only 19 years old, stronger than most royal siblings. She also possesses a powerful physique known as the innate spirit body, a rare spirit body that naturally increases cultivation speed, and comprehension of the world's laws. If her body were fully awakened, powerful sects would immediately recruit her. In the past, Mo Linyuan and Feng Qingcheng lived in completely different worlds. The only thing that placed them together was his position as king of Xia. However, everything has now changed. After fusing with the heaven-devouring immortal body, Mo Linyuan checks his new status through the system. Host: Mo Linyuan. Identity: King of Xia. Level: 1-star tourist. Cultivation: Peak of the Pihai realm. Aptitude: Supreme immortal grade. Physique: Heaven-devouring immortal body. Techniques: Devouring heaven immortal art. 9 Tribulation Dynasty. Immortal art. Treasures: Shanhei Sheiji Cauldron. Primordial Pill Scripture. His cultivation has suddenly jumped to the peak of the Pihai realm, far surpassing normal limits. Martial Arts Realm Explanation. The chapter also explains the martial cultivation system in the world. Bone Forging Realm, tempering the 204 bones of the body. Each tempering increases strength by about 1 cauldron, about 1,000 jin. Levels: Iron Bone, Copper Bone, Silver Bone, Gold Bone. Extreme Realm. Skin Refining Realm. Strengthens skin and flesh for greater durability. Levels: Iron Skin, Copper Skin, Silver Skin, Gold Skin. Extreme Realm. Blood Condensation Realm. Vital blood, greatly increasing strength and lifespan up to about 150 years. At this stage, one is considered a true martial artist. Organ Refining Realm strengthens internal organs. Lifespan can exceed 200 years. Meridian Opening Realm. Opens the 12 meridians to circulate. Energy. Lifespan reaches 250 years, and warriors can become city lords. Xiantian Realm. A transition stage where martial artists gain divine consciousness, absorb the energy of heaven and earth, and purify their bodies. Lifespan reaches 300 years. Pihai Realm. Sea of Qi. This realm opens the Dantian Sea, allowing massive storage of vital energy. Lifespan 500 years, can briefly fly using vital energy. Powerful enough to establish a noble clan or major force. Mo Linyuan has already reached the peak Pihai realm, making him one of the strongest figures in the Xia Kingdom. Power structure of the Xia Kingdom currently, only 3 Pihai realm experts exist. In the royal faction, a purple-robed eunuch supervisor, loyal only to the late king, King Yunmeng, Mo Linyuan's ambitious royal uncle, who controls Yunmeng Commandery, and is backed by the Yunmeng sect, the chief of the imperial clan court, an extremely old expert nearing the end of his 500-year lifespan. Because the royal family lost many experts in a past incident, its power has weakened greatly. Without the balance between powerful, aristocratic families, the royal family might have already been replaced. Chapter 4. 3 Parties. Power structure of the Great Xia Kingdom. The kingdom is currently balanced between 3 major Ruyi realm experts. Because these 3 forces exist, none of them can easily dominate, which keeps the kingdom relatively stable. The 3 powerful figures are Feng family old ancestor, backing the prime minister's Feng family, one of the strongest families in the kingdom. Red Cloud sect Grand Elder supports Mo Linyuan's 5th royal brother. Yunmeng sect Grand Elder supports King Yunmeng. All 3 are early Ruyi realm experts and belong to the same generation. Because of this 3-way balance, none of them can easily overthrow the others. Cultivation explanation. Ruyi realm. To reach the Ruyi realm, a cultivator must transform elemental QI in the Dantian into elemental liquid, gain the ability to fly through the air, control elemental energy with great precision, use spirit-grade martial arts, form attacks like elemental streaks and shapes. Benefits of the Ruyi realm. Lifespan, 700 years. Ability to create a 7th grade faction, considered top powerhouses in the kingdom. Mo Linyuan's current strength. Mo Linyuan is currently at the peak Pi realm. Advantages. Possesses the heaven-devouring immortal body. His Dantian is like a vast star sea. He broke through every realm to the extreme limit. Because of this, he believes, even Ruyi realm experts may not defeat him easily in battle, but he still lacks battle experience, control over his new power, understanding of martial techniques. So he needs time to grow stronger. Loyal eunuch Huang An Mo Linyuan checks the loyalty of Huang An using the system. Innate peak cultivator. One of the 5 red robe eunuchs. 100% loyal. Huang An has served Mo Linyuan since birth and raised him after his mother died. Mo Linyuan tells him to personally prepare food to prevent poisoning. The assassin's reaction. Some mysterious masked assassins learn that Mo Linyuan survived. Ram Mask Assassin, Xuanyang, is furious because the king didn't die. Rabbit Mask Assassin says their master ordered them to stop the assassination temporarily. Reason. Their previous attack attracted attention. The Feng family may already be investigating. They don't want to ruin their master's larger plan. Old noble faction, Murong family. Another powerful faction appears. Murong family, one of the 10 great families, by Murong Yaotian, the loyalty marquise. Cultivation, early Pi realm. The Murong family leads the old noble faction, which opposes the new nobles led by the Feng family. Murong Yaotian hears Mo Linyuan has awakened and says, "It's good he survived. It's not yet time for him to die." This suggests they are secretly supporting another prince's rebellion. Feng family, the strongest family. The Feng family is currently the most powerful family in Great Xia. Important members, Feng Wenting, Prime Minister, Mid-Pi realm. Feng Qingcheng, the Empress, Mo Linyuan's wife. Feng Jiayu, commander of the Imperial Guards. Old Master Feng, Ruyi realm powerhouse. The Feng family has massive influence over the royal court. Chapter 5. Feng Yu Tower, Shura Guard. Feng Jiayu stood before his father, unable to hide his dissatisfaction. "Father, why did you marry little sister to Mo Linyuan?" he asked. "He may be easy to control, but there was no need to sacrifice her." Feng Wenting's smile slowly faded. For a moment, silence filled the study. "You don't need to question this matter again," he finally said calmly. "Just remember one thing. Mo Linyuan is now your brother-in-law." His tone left no room for argument. Although unwilling, Feng Jiayu could only bow and leave. After his son disappeared, Feng Wenting walked to the window and looked toward the distant royal palace. "I hope I didn't misjudge you," he murmured quietly. At the same time, inside Taiji Hall, only the young king Mo Linyuan and his loyal servant Huang An remained. "Your Majesty," Huang An reported respectfully, "according to your orders, all the guards around Taiji Hall have been replaced with our people." Mo Linyuan nodded calmly. For 22 years he had lived in the palace, but he had never been idle. Since the age of 5, he had secretly built his own power in preparation for the dangerous struggles of the royal family. One of these forces was the Wind and Rain Pavilion. On the surface, it was merely a chain of restaurants. But in truth, its branches spread across all 21 commanderies of Great Xia, secretly operating brothels and gambling houses. These places gathered intelligence from officials and nobles while generating enormous wealth. The second force was even more terrifying, the Asura Guard. 13 years ago, Mo Linyuan began taking in orphaned children and training them in brutal combat and assassination techniques. Out of 3,000 children, only a little. More than 500 survived the harsh training, but those who survived became elite killers. "Reporting to your Majesty," Huang An said with pride. "Among them are 73 peak blood condensation experts, 17 organ refining experts, and 1 Xiantian realm assassin." Mo Linyuan raised his eyebrows in surprise. "A Xiantian realm expert?" Huang An nodded and explained that during a mission in the state of Song, the Asura Guard destroyed a 9th-rank power and obtained a rare Xiantian pill, allowing an assassin named Sui Yi to break through. Mo Linyuan smiled faintly. "Very good." But Huang An still looked worried. "Your Majesty, why don't we leave the royal city?" he asked. With our forces, escaping would not be difficult. Mo Linyuan's expression turned cold. Leave? He said quietly. Where would I go? I am the king of Xia. Since Father King entrusted the throne to me, I will not abandon this kingdom. Then he tore open the gauze covering his chest. Huang An froze in shock. The fatal wound that once nearly killed. The king had completely disappeared. From now on, Mo Linyuan said calmly, clenching his fist, the tables have turned. Anyone who dares to covet the throne of Xia will die. Finally, he gave new orders. Have the Asura guard secretly enter the royal city within 3 days, and prepare a large amount of spirit stones and gold. A storm was about to begin. The weak king, who once endured everything, in silence was finally ready to reveal his fangs. Chapter 6, The 21, Territories of Great Xia. The moment Huang An left Taiji Hall, the enormous palace fell into silence. Mo Linyuan slowly walked toward a tall, silk screen standing near the wall. His footsteps echoed faintly in the quiet hall. The screen displayed an embroidered map of the kingdom of Great Xia and the surrounding nations. It had been made years ago during his grandfather's reign, so that every ruler of the Xia dynasty could clearly see the land he governed. Mo Linyuan folded his hands behind his back and quietly studied the map. The entire kingdom was divided into 21 prefectures, which were further separated into 5 large regions. At the center of Great Xia lay 5 prefectures: Chengtian, Chifeng, Kanglan, Azure Cloud, and Qixia. Among them, Chengtian Prefecture held the royal capital. Because it was the political heart of the nation, it was guarded by the empire's elite army, the Dragon Guards of Xia. 200,000 soldiers were stationed there. The remaining 4 prefectures each kept 10,000 troops to protect the roads leading toward the capital. Altogether, the central region held 240,000 soldiers. Yet Mo Linyuan knew something troubling. Numbers alone meant nothing. Among those soldiers, how many would truly follow his command if chaos erupted? He had no answer. However, he understood one thing clearly. If he wished to stabilize his throne, the dragon, guards must be completely under his control. And to gain control of them, he needed the support of a powerful family, the Dugu clan, the loyal yet silent Dugu clan. The Dugu family had existed for nearly 1,000 years. When the founders of Great Xia fled eastward during ancient wars, the ancestor of the Dugu clan had protected them with unwavering loyalty. Because of that achievement, he was granted the title Marquis Zhongyong and entrusted with command over the imperial guards. Since that time, the Dugu family had remained closely tied to the royal house. Even during the reign of the previous king, they never caused trouble. One of their daughters had even become queen. Yet after Mo Linyuan ascended the throne, the Dugu family chose an unusual path. They neither joined the old aristocratic alliance, nor supported the new aristocratic alliance, and they had not openly pledged loyalty to him either. Mo Linyuan sighed softly. He could hardly blame them. His previous reputation had been far from impressive. No powerful family would easily risk their future by supporting a weak ruler. If he were in their place, he might have done the same, observe quietly, and wait for the right moment. After all, in royal power struggles, a single mistake could wipe out an entire clan. Mo Linyuan narrowed his eyes slightly. Still, he was willing to give the Dugu clan an opportunity. His gaze moved toward the northern part of the map. 4 prefectures guarded that harsh region: Beacon Fire, Tiebi, Xuanren, and Shuizhan. Beyond those lands lay no human nations. Instead, an enormous mountain range stretched across the horizon, the legendary Fallen Dragon Mountains. According to ancient stories, a terrifying flood dragon once ravaged the world long ago. Eventually, a supreme human expert killed it, and its massive body became the mountain range that now stretched for 100,000 li. Whether the legend was true or not, the place was extremely dangerous. The mountains were filled with rare treasures, but also countless demonic beasts. These creatures were ranked from Tier 1 to Tier 12. From the 6th tier onward, they were known as Great Demons. At that level, they could speak human language and possessed intelligence equal to humans. Once they reached the 9th tier, they could even transform into human form. Demonic beasts were naturally powerful. Many possessed terrifying bloodlines that allowed them to command storms, ride clouds, and shake mountains. Since ancient times, humans and demons had been mortal enemies. Humans hunted beasts for their materials, which could be used to craft weapons and refine pills. Demons, on the other hand, devoured humans to strengthen their own cultivation. Every year, waves of demonic beasts descended from the fallen dragon mountains to attack human territories. To resist them, Great Xia stationed 500,000 soldiers along the northern border. This massive force was known as the Demon Suppression Army. Its commander was General Noinally. He came from the powerful Nangong family, a rising clan that belonged to the new aristocratic alliance. Mo Linyuan felt somewhat reassured about the northern army, for now at least. Next, his gaze shifted toward the western lands. 4 prefectures stood there: Red Cloud, Liuxia, Longquan, and Tianlan. On paper, each prefecture maintained 10,000 soldiers. But in reality, those lands had long been influenced by a powerful cultivation sect, the Red Cloud sect. And that sect happened to be the maternal clan of his 5th royal brother. Exactly how many soldiers or cultivators they controlled was unknown. The southern region was the wealthiest part of Great Xia. Each territory there possessed valuable resources. Jinggu Prefecture produced enormous amounts of grain, and it was under the control of the 3rd prince. Yusui Prefecture was famous for its precious jade mines. The 4th prince and 7th princess ruled there. Baikao County was rich in rare herbs, attracting many alchemy families. This territory belonged to the 6th prince. Finally, Gulan Prefecture lay at the southernmost edge of the kingdom. It bordered several smaller nations such as Lin Kingdom and Feng Country. Unlike the others, Gulan remained politically neutral. The eastern territories contained 4 prefectures as well: Yunmeng, Thousand Sails, Thunder Sound, and Xingyun. Among them, Yunmeng and Thousand Sails were practically controlled by Mo Linyuan's royal uncle, the king of Yunmeng. Thunder Sound Prefecture was dominated by the Heavenly Thunder Sect, the maternal clan of his 8th royal sister. Xingyun Prefecture, meanwhile, was ruled by the Chen family, whose members belonged to the new aristocratic faction. After examining the map, Mo Linyuan finally understood the current situation of Great Xia. On the surface, the royal family member with the greatest power was his 5th brother, Mo Lin Hao. However, the new aristocratic faction was also strong. Meanwhile, several royal siblings in the south appeared to be forming alliances, and the ambitious royal uncle in the east was quietly expanding his influence. All sides were waiting for the perfect moment to move. Mo Linyuan's eyes narrowed slightly. If he were to guess, his 5th brother would likely make the first move, but the target would not be the capital. That left only one direction: the south. Mo Linhao might secretly cooperate with nearby kingdoms to stir up chaos there. Mo Linyuan smiled faintly. "Let them fight," he murmured softly. "Only through destruction can a new order be created. I will rebuild Great Xia from the ruins." After a moment, his gaze drifted toward the western side of the capital, where the Imperial Guard's camp was located. He watched silently before finally returning to his bed and sitting down cross-legged. Although Taiji Hall was filled with loyal people, Mo Linyuan still released his divine sense to scan the surroundings. Normally, a martial artist at the peak of the Pihai realm could sense only about 10 li, but Mo Linyuan was different. His divine sense could reach over 100 li, comparable to a Ruyi realm expert. Invisible waves spread outward from Taiji Hall like a giant net, covering the entire royal palace. Suddenly, Mo Linyuan's expression froze. Inside Changqiu Palace, a breathtaking woman was bathing. She suddenly lifted her head sharply, as if sensing something. Back in Taiji Hall, Mo Linyuan's lips curved slightly. In the future, he decided, he would definitely construct a powerful grand formation to protect the palace. Ignoring the distracting scene, his divine sense continued exploring. Soon, his expression turned cold. Finally, his attention stopped at the Tianwu Bureau. Inside a 3-story pavilion, a figure dressed in purple robes sat quietly in cultivation. Mo Linyuan narrowed his eyes. So even this eunuch cannot detect my divine sense. He would need to meet this old man sooner or later. If the eunuch submitted, everything would be fine. If not, Mo Linyuan withdrew his divine sense and closed his eyes. His consciousness slowly sank into his dantian, the most important core of a martial artist's cultivation. Once the dantian was destroyed, advancement on the martial path became nearly impossible. Of course, legends spoke of rare individuals who cultivated through other methods without a dantian. But such techniques were unimaginably rare. For ordinary people, they were nothing more than myths. Chapter 7. Early morning. He secretly made a note of them. Although the number was small, it was still enough to surprise him. In this seemingly rotten imperial court, There were still a few officials whose loyalty had not completely faded. Mo Linyuan's gaze slowly swept across the ministers below. Most of them lowered their heads respectfully, but some avoided his eyes. A few even showed faint impatience. All of it fell into his sight. "So this is the court I inherited," Mo Linyuan sneered inwardly. If it had been the previous king, he might truly have been nothing more than a puppet. But now things were different. He had the myriad heavens mall system, the 9 Tribulation Dynasty immortal art, and the Shanhei Sheiji cauldron. The fate of this kingdom would eventually be rewritten. Mo Linyuan leaned slightly against the dragon throne as if exhausted. "Since all of you know you deserve not death, then tell me." His voice was weak but carried a faint pressure. Who were the assassins? Silence instantly filled the Xuanzheng Hall. The ministers looked at each other, but no one spoke. Everyone knew this matter was complicated. The assassination during the king's birthday banquet had shocked the entire capital. Yet, until now, no clear explanation had been given. Many suspected that powerful forces within the court were involved. Feng Wenting stepped forward slowly. "Your Majesty, this matter is still under investigation. However, the assassins were extremely well-trained. They likely came from a hidden organization." "A hidden organization?" Mo Linyuan chuckled softly. "If they can enter the palace and almost kill the king, is our kingdom so incompetent?" His gaze turned cold. Or, he paused deliberately. "Are there people inside this court helping them?" A ripple instantly spread among the officials. Several ministers immediately knelt down. "Your Majesty, we would never dare. We are loyal to the kingdom." Mo Linyuan watched quietly. The monarch's authority from the 9 Tribulation Dynasty immortal art faintly spread throughout the hall. The pressure was invisible, yet many officials suddenly felt their hearts tremble. Some even began sweating. Huang An, standing beside the throne, secretly widened his eyes. The king today felt completely different, even though he still looked weak and sickly. His presence seemed far more terrifying than before. Mo Linyuan slowly tapped the desk. "Since no one knows, then let this king investigate personally." At that moment, the system notification sounded again in his mind. "Ding, 1-star mission completed. Attend morning court. Reward obtained. Battle formation. Breaking army. Reward obtained, 10 1-star points." A stream of information instantly entered Mo Linyuan's mind. The breaking army formation was a powerful, military battle formation capable of greatly increasing the combat power of soldiers when fighting as a unit. Mo Linyuan's eyes flashed with excitement. In chaotic times, what he needed most was an army, and battle formations were exactly what could transform ordinary soldiers into terrifying killing machines. Below the throne, Prime Minister Feng Wenting noticed the king's silence and asked carefully, "Your Majesty, what are your orders?" Mo Linyuan slowly leaned forward. His weak expression suddenly became sharp. "From today onward, the palace guards, Imperial Army, and City Defense Forces will all undergo reorganization. Anyone connected to the assassins, kill them without mercy." The Xuanzheng Hall instantly fell into dead silence. Many officials felt their hearts tighten. The weak king who had ignored court affairs for a year had suddenly changed, and this change made them uneasy. Mo Linyuan looked down at the entire court. Inside his eyes burned a faint, cold light. The game has just begun. Like, comment, subscribe, share.